The willingness to end resistance is an entry point into the unknown. Most of us, for most of our lives, most of the time, there is resistance to something. Resistance to our thoughts, resistance to our past, resistance to a memory, resistance to an activity, resistance to a feeling. We don't like it. We'd rather it wasn't there. We want to reject it, get over it, deny it, forget about it. We spend a lot of time and energy trying to change our internal landscape to make it better, brighter, happier, and so on. When all that comes to an end, then what? Then what do we do? Then what do we invest ourselves in? Where does the self go? What's its role now? Is there a self still? It's like the whole structure comes undone. That's freedom from the prison. What was taken for granted, and yet at some point there's a yearning to move on from that, to be free of that. But still it was taken for granted. There's not the possibility to see beyond that prison, beyond that structure. And any attempt to imagine what it's like on the other side of that seeming prison conjures up all sorts of images, or conjures up no image, because the mind cannot grasp it. But once it comes undone, it is really seen for what it is, or what it was, which was a bunch of mental and emotional and energetic acrobatics, strategies to control experience, to control your internal state and your external state at times, but mostly it's about the internal. And then the cosmic joke of it can be seen. It was a prison of your own making. So how can we support this undoing? Whilst it's not an activity for the self to do, there is value and wisdom in bringing to attention, bringing to awareness, bringing to our understanding how this mechanism plays itself out, how the formation of the separate self plays itself out, how the veiling takes place. It's called a veiling because it becomes the lens through which we see reality, our world. It gets colored by that. And has an impact on everything that we are, everything that we do. Every way that we interact with ourselves, with each other, with life. So how can we support this unveiling? this undoing. We cannot get rid of content. Whatever arises, arises as part of your experience. But we can support ourselves in the undoingness by becoming aware of how we interpret and interfere with experience. We constantly label and name and categorize our experience. We put it in various boxes of good, bad, welcome, unwelcome, pleasurable, painful, spiritual, unspiritual, and so on. What if we could see that mechanism and how it pulls us away from pure presence? It pulls us into the strategy making. If it's good, welcome, spiritual, then I'll try to recreate that or hold on to it, add to that particular box. But if it's painful or unwelcome or unspiritual or, I'll put it in a box and shove it in the corner so I don't have to look at it. I can get rid of it. And so on. But if we could see, that's a movement, that's an inner movement. It's actually the movement of mind or the movement of awareness as it gets funneled into good, bad, this, that, whatever categories we're making. And then it gets entangled with some kind of strategy. That's where all the energy is invested. What if we were able to see that just for a moment here, in this situation, in this situation, in this circumstance, in this experience, and just stop? It's a gentle stop. It's a gentle presence here, not moving away. Here. This is the undoing. The undoing takes place in the micro moment. Yeah? Here or here or here. Yeah? When we notice it, when we're truly willing to meet our experience from freshness, not knowing if it's good or bad, not knowing, yeah, this is the sky nature. Unconditional, unconditionality. Unconditionality is actually a living state of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not an action or a thought or a process. Forgiveness is letting it be, letting it be. The sky letting the clouds be. The sky letting the storm be. Everything has a rightful expression. But the sky is not forgetting itself. and believing itself to be the storm or be the cloud. We do, as human beings, we do forget mostly. But here's the invitation, here's the game, if you like, here's the play of it all, is that every experience is an opportunity to recognize sky nature. And any attempt by the self to believe there's something wrong with me, or haven't got there yet, or I failed, or I'm not good enough because I haven't got it all in one go. This great big bang, this great big explosion where suddenly all of that comes undone. The whole lifetime of this strategy making and interference comes undone. And that if I haven't achieved that in all one go, and sky gets confused or lost in the identification with the storm and believes itself to be that, then there's something wrong with me. No, no, no. Here's the beauty, here's the celebration, that in the moment of the seeing, in the moment of the not moving and staying as sky nature, in the midst of that which is difficult or challenging or entrancing, that's it. There's a celebration in that. Sky recognizing itself, awareness recognizing itself, beingness recognizing itself, simply by not moving from itself as itself. Gradually, the veils come undone because you're no longer entranced by them. You're no longer interpreting experience, categorizing experience. You're no longer interfering with experience. It's like all that energy that's invested into the interference and the interpretation, it has to fall back into itself. It's like an inner implosion, yeah, that has the possibility of detonating the self-made prison. It just comes undone. It's not necessarily a big deal. It's just that the windows have opened. The windows that you never knew were there, misted or dusty, have just opened.